Upright Black Science TV 111, Osei Kufuor. I'm back at y'all again. Coming to talk about more on biological patterns. Biological patterns. Now, a lot of us don't know that when we're going to the hospital and we're giving our blood, they're drawing our blood, you have to understand that your blood has information in it. When a paradigm shift is occurring, you have to understand that as a melanated being, you have information coming from different planets into your spiritual umbilical cord, which is your blood. So your blood consists of information. So every 9 years, your blood gets information, new information, which is instilled in you, which helps to evolve your way of thinking, your way of tasting, your way of seeing things. You may hear ringing sounds in your ear, but this is information coming in, which they call aliens or extraterrestrials, which is abducting the old way of thinking and helping us to evolve on a spiritual level now. What I mean by that is this right here. When you go into these hospitals and they're taking your blood from you, have to understand blood is not just some liquid substance. It's consisted of information which is pre-encoded at birth. Our whole physiology is consisted of information. Our plasma, our melanin, our blood, our cells. Our cells most dominantly. Why? Because in our cells we have something consisted of a nucleus. The nucleus holds information. It's a USB disk drive, which downloads everything. Every memory, every thought, every situation that we encounter in life is stuck inside of our cells. But what happens is, when we are coming in tune with genetically modified chemicals or genetically modified foods that we are instilling into our body, even genetically modified sounds, because we have genetically modified sounds that's played by way of music today, that's actually putting us down on lower consciousness, being that we are endowed on megahertz. We are nothing but radio frequencies. We are frequency modulators. FM radio, frequency modulators. And a frequency modulator is when you have an antenna, which is the melanin, which is intercepting certain information by way of light wave frequencies from the sun. You get vitamin D. Vitamin D is not some type of nutrient. It's an information which is by way of photosynthesis taken into your melanocytes and downloaded to give your body certain proteins. Our body consists of natural proteins. We don't have to eat meat to contain protein into our body. We have them, they're just asleep. So how do we open up those natural proteins? We have to eat something that's called alkaline. Alkaline is memory banks. Alkaline produces memory in your body. Just like when your computer shut down, it starts to get slow. When your body shut down from you digesting genetically modified foods, your body starts to move slow. Your brain starts to move slow. Your radio frequency modulator, which is your melanin, starts to subdue you, which is another form of your immune system. We have two immune systems. You have your brain, and then you have your melanin. So your brain being an immune system have to send signals to your body. It tells your hands to move. It tells you where to move, which direction to go. You get what I'm saying? So when we're talking about information as far as DNA, it is already pre-encoded into our biochemical structure before birth. Now, many of us don't know that we've been here before. So therefore, we are actually sitting here with information. Again, when you go and take your computer to somebody to fix it because it has low memory, you have to understand that that computer is not getting enough defense. When I say defense for the body being alkaline. So when we taking in alkaline and we digesting this into our physiology, what we're doing is we are creating memory banks. So that way, when the paradigm shift occur, the information that's sent to us from different planets are able to hold into our biochemical structure. So therefore, we can evolve. It's an evolution going on right now. It's a spiritual evolution going on. And even right now, we are tasting things differently. We are hearing sounds. We are seeing things differently. Even when we dream, our dreams is more potent than the way we used to dream. Why? Because the universe is shifting. Our dreams are downloaded inside of the sun. A lot of people may think I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. The sun has a lot of the memory banks that we need. If you don't believe me, take a plant and sit it in the sun and give it water. And guess what's going to happen? Something that's called photosynthesis is going to occur. This is when you take sunlight and convert it to energy. This is what's going on with melanated people. We get vitamin D by way of photosynthesis because we are photooxygenic beings which connect with things in nature more so better than Europeans. They burn, meaning that they cannot intercept the information that we're getting. And because they cannot intercept the information that we're getting, what they're doing is they're having more blood transfusions today. Check it out. They're doing more blood transfusions today, and they're using our blood, which has information in it, which can be copy and pasted into their body by way of transplants. And so therefore, this is what you call vampires sucking your energy. Energy is a form of information. Information never dies. Thermodynamics. Energy never dies. You get what I'm saying? So every thought that you think is being instilled inside of your cells. You get what I'm saying? So when we're looking at certain things such as plasma as well, when you go into plasma centers and they taking plasma from you, what they do is they copy and paste the information from the plasma by way of DNA functions and systems, and they put it inside of their biochemical structure. They have clone cells where they can take your information and they can copy and paste your information into these clone cells and put it inside of themselves. A lot of people are not going to really catch on to what I'm saying. But what I'm telling you is a lot of things that's going on today that we don't know is going on. Even when you go to the hospital, you have to be careful. This is how they can read your blood. When they take you to the back and they say they're going to read your blood, we take that for granted. Like, yo, they just go into the back and put it on the machine. They can actually read what's in your blood. They can see, okay, well, this is how much time you got to live. This is why when they tell you got cancer, this is how much time you got to live. You may have 20 years left to live in your blood when they reading it, but they can suck 10 years from that 20 years, and now they come back and tell you only got 10 years left of your life because they copy and pasted some of your lifetime into another person's blood that they're going to put in them for a blood transfusion. Cells have a nucleus in it. The nucleus is a USB drive. USB drive holds information, so it don't get lost. So information never dies. It get carries over into other worlds, which is other bodies. Again, your melanin is a spiritual umbilical cord, which is connected to the universe, and the universe is what gives you this new information. All a paradigm shift is new information coming in. This is the astrological system, which is distributed. Every 9,000 years, a planet gives birth. Just like a physical woman, when she gives birth, every 9 months. She have a 9-month period gestation where she gives birth, but the universe, every 9,000 years, disperses or distributes new information into the bodies that's original to the third dimension around, which is melanated people. So we have something in us called melanocytes. Melanocytes is which is impregnated with the information. When it's touched with the sun, it creates certain proteins, natural proteins. As black people, we don't need to eat meat for protein. Our teeth is not even made to even chew meat. The diagram of our teeth is not even made to chew meat. Why? Because meat has corexin in it. Corexin kills oil. Oil is carbon. Carbon is melanin. So therefore, what do you think it's doing to your pineal gland or your third eye, which is your Christ? It's putting it on a cross. It's crucifying you. Every time you eat food that's not conducive to your DNA, you crucifying your melanin, which is your Christ or your Horus. You get what I'm saying? So I'm telling you right now, they are cloning melanated people's cells, the nucleus in their cells, which is information, and they sucking the energy, which is the information, and they, by way of transfusions, they putting it inside of themselves. But what they don't know is that it's killing them. It's like you can't take a positive now and mix it with a negative, because what's going to happen is going to cause a virus, going to shut down that certain physiology or biochemical structure inside of that recessive being or that recessive species, which is dwelling on this third dimension. You have to know that. They know how to read blood, information inside of blood. This is how they can tell how long you live again. So they can take they can copy and paste time from you in the hospital and say you got HIV. It's not really HIV. It's just that they took information from your blood. They beat you for time. I forgot the name of the movie. You can go. It's a movie that's out where you can go and you can take the person and you can take your wrist and put it on that person's wrist in the movie and take time from that person. They put everything in the movies that is really going on in front of you. This stuff is not entertainment. All of this stuff is going on. All of it. DNA is not just physical. It's spiritual. And they don't use it as a physical defense against us. They use it as a spiritual defense against us because they don't know spiritual science. They don't teach you spiritual science in school. They teach you physical science. They teach you about planets. They teach you about earth science. They teach you about plants. They teach you biology, but they don't teach you the spiritual aspects of these things, which is the root to all subjects. If we spiritual people, why are we learning physical subjects? You can't be a spiritual person and learn physical subjects. Schools wasn't made for us. We use that common sense. We can feel things. You get what I'm saying? This is why they had to make love of the word love. Love don't exist. We felt each other. It's just like the birds, they can feel you. The dogs, they can feel. Animals can feel. This is nature. They don't read books. They don't read systems. They don't love each other, but yet they respect each other more. Why? Because they're not tampered with. You get what I'm saying? So with that much said, Osei Kufuor, Black Science TV 111. Be careful when you're going into these hospitals, because when you're doing blood transfusions, they could be taking somebody else's blood, which is negative information, copying and pasting it from them and putting it inside of you, and now your body is having a reaction. And now they're telling you have cancer, you have HIV, when none of that stuff really exists. You get what I'm saying? So be careful, especially black women, because when they taking you, when you giving birth, they take your umbilical cord, they take your placenta, which has a lot of information. This is why your placenta is shaped the way that it's shaped. Shape has a lot to do with the type of information that we obtain within certain realms. And the circle is what? Your cells are circular shapes, which contains information. They may be small, but it has a lot of information inside of cells. And they can intercept this information or energy and suck your energy from you. And now you sick. You went to the hospital, one nothing wrong with you. Next thing you know, 2 days later, they tell you got cancer. This is why they tell you wait for the results. Because they're trying to figure out what type of information to implant into your blood, which is your spiritual umbilical cord to the soul. All right, so with that much said, Black Science TV 111, Osei Kufuor, I'm out. Peace.